Okay, my name is Kelly Van Pinkstren, and I have been coming to Low Country Specific Chiropractic now for a year. I have been seeing chiropractors since I was about 18. I was in a car accident and got whiplash, but before that, when I was about 12, I had fallen off a roof and then I'd fallen down a flight of wood stairs and had had multiple injuries in volleyball, cheerleading, drill team through high school. College was when I had that accident with the whiplash, and that's when I first started seeing chiropractors. And I believed in the power of chiropractic care to help with headaches and injuries and, try to correct what had been done. I must admit that I was one of those that waited a while. I had known Dr. Tron Malachowski for several years. We'd been in a networking group together for our businesses. And I was seeing a chiropractor, which I was happy with, but I noticed after several years, my body was just not responding anymore. Kind of like when you take medications too long, that you just kind of build up an immunity to them. And at that time, I had my second child and noticed she was about a year old, and I noticed that she was having balance issues kind of further than what a toddler normally would. She would not look straight. She wouldn't turn her head to look at things. She would sit and look over with her eyes rather than taking her head over that way. And at first we thought it was kind of a cute quirk, but then we noticed she wasn't turning her head. So after years of hearing about Dr. Tron's work and hearing testimonials from people, I thought, well, maybe I am to a point where it'll work for me, because I thought I was one of those that was so messed up it wouldn't work. So we came in, both my daughter and I, and after one adjustment, she went from, she would be standing and then fall over for no reason, or she would run into things that weren't even in her path. She would just suddenly zigzag over, and not just your typical toddler type things. But after one adjustment, we noticed a huge improvement in her balance. And for me, after one adjustment, I noticed the nerves in my face waking up and my sinuses draining, which have always been an issue for me. I've lived here for almost 10 years now, and with the hay fever allergies that I get from all the different pollens, I was getting sinus infections every other month and having to go on antibiotics and all kinds of decongestants. And since being adjusted by Dr. Malachowski, I have not had one sinus infection in a year, and I was having 3 or 4, within 6 months before that. So big improvements there. Another thing that improved was that I was having headaches all the time, and of course, first thing to do is pop an ibuprofen, and those had stopped working, and just that tension that was building in my upper neck. Now, the chiropractor I had been seeing was fantastic at adjusting, my neck in the lower parts, but it just seemed like those top two were not holding. And so finally, after the probably 1000th time that I'd heard Dr. Tron Malachowski say that it's those upper two, it finally thought, in my head, I thought, well, now's a good time. Let's go ahead and try it. So I came in and got adjusted, and I have only had 4 adjustments to the upper 2 bones since seeing him. Now, I've had some adjustments on my back because there are still some small issues there, but most of that is just life. But with the top 2 bones, they're staying in. I'm not getting the headaches. I'm not getting the sinus infections. I'm not getting sick. My kids are sick all the time because they go to school and they come home with whatever is in the school at that time. And I'm not catching those things anymore, where before I was getting sick every time they got sick, because of course when they're sneezing on you and when they're rubbing goodness only knows what all over you with their hands, then I would always get sick. And now my immune system's stronger. I'm not getting those sinus infections. I sneeze during pollen season, but it's not anywhere near with the same magnitude as I was dealing with before. So I just want to say thank you to Low Country Specific Chiropractic for helping increase my quality of life and in turn increasing my children's quality of life. Thanks.